What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning back in to another episode of Florida Prison Talk. And we're doing something a little different today. We're coming out of the Rhode Island Department of Corrections, the Rhode Island Department of Corrections. And I have a lot of questions about Rhode Island. Rhode Island's like a mysterious state, yes, it's like a mysterious state that viewers and everybody is definitely curious about as far as the prison system. Introduce yourself, bruh.
Hi, my name's Jay. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. I live in Pawtucket right now. I'm 35 years old. I've been doing bids pretty much my whole life, and that's where I'm at. Trying to stay out of trouble. I've been out of trouble now for like 7 years. You know what I mean? So I'm good.
Okay, cool. Well, we like the viewers already know, we're getting right into it. This first question: What led you on your journey to the Rhode Island Department of Corrections?
Drugs, being wild, losing my temper, doing dumb shit, stuff like that. I had a couple robberies. I remember the first time I went, it had been for a domestic. I was 17, and in Massachusetts, as an adult, you're 17, you go right to the adult jail. But being from Rhode Island, we go into Mass a lot because it's right there. Rhode Island's such a small state. Massachusetts comes into Rhode Island a lot. So Rhode Island's so small, we only have a state prison. There's no county jails. You know what I mean? So if you're awaiting trial, your roommate could be there getting ready to do life. And then when you get sentenced, you know what I mean, you go to these buildings. So you stay in intake, could be for a year, could be whatever, while you're fighting your case. Because in Rhode Island, it's one of the few states that if you're on probation, they will violate your probation before you're even found guilty of a charge, just because you didn't keep the peace. So you just getting handcuffs put on you is a violation of your probation. So so then you sit in intake and fight your case. It's usually a while, depending on if you cop out or not. Then once you cop out, you get moved to a different block. You stay in that block until you get classified, and you get classified to either minimum, medium. There used to be medium 1 and medium 2. Medium 2's closed now. I was there. That building was live. And so intake, medium. Minimum, medium, maximum security, and high security. Okay. So those are the little buildings over there. But then Mass, I never been to the Mass state prison system. I've been in a bunch of county jails in Mass, but I never did a prison bit out there, only in Rhode Island. Okay. And so how many years did you do in total in Rhode Island? Total, like throughout my whole life?
Yes.
Probably 8.5. Okay,
8.5. And I'm so used to doing interviews with people from Florida, people from New York, and in all these interviews, man, the blacks seem to have the most numbers in those prison systems in the Spanish. But I'm curious, is the Rhode Island, are the whites outnumbering everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And
my fault. In Boston, they got fucking I don't know. Well, I was in Boston County Jail. I had gotten shipped out for wilding out at another jail, so they shipped me there. And there is crazy. It's racially segregated. The inmates, they don't do that in Rhode Island. They have, like, over there, you eat with whites, white child table, black child table, Spanish child table, white TV room, black TV room, Spanish TV room. So that's how that goes.
Wow.
Out in Boston.
Okay, so Rhode Island, okay. So check this out. So the whites outnumber everybody.
Yep.
What gangs do they have in the Rhode Island Department of Corrections?
I mean, they have like Latin Kings. They got people that are Bloods. But there's not really a huge gang thing. It's more like hood beef. Like Pawtucket will have beef. The east side will have beef with the west side of Pawtucket. Providence, they fight. The hoods fight. There's a bunch of projects out there, Manton projects, Hotfoot projects. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of shit out there. We got 2 projects out in Tucket as well that beef with each other. So
okay. And what kind of things did you see when you was locked up in Rhode Island? What kind of do the whites, are the whites black? Are they feuding? Is it beef like that, or everybody's getting along?
Rhode Island really ain't really that bad, man. Like, you could go in there quietly and do a bid. There's so much people telling, and they installed cameras now. So now you're getting told on quick. Like, if somebody comes in and starts strong arming people, the next morning the dude will get taken out and he'll be like, yo, they put 15 notes in on me. Like, it's just crazy. So I mean, it's not like that in Rhode Island, really. Once you get to another building, then it's liver, because obviously these people are sentenced. Medium, you got lifers. Max, you got lifers. You know what I mean? So it's like that people have to act accordingly. You know what I mean? And there's obviously a lot more fights out in those buildings. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying, man. My bad.
That was all good. And what kind of things did you go through as far as violence in Rhode Island prisons? Or what kind of things
so my first time doing a bid in the state of Rhode Island, I was 19. So I went in there. I had got into an argument with the CO in my block. He just didn't like me. We kept going at it, and then there was a fucking crazy dude in the block. He was walking around with a black eye, because the first cell they put him in, he got banged in the eye for being a weirdo. So they fucking boom, he has no cellie, but they gotta fill a cell, and he don't want to put nobody in there because the dude just got banged. So he's like, yo, boom, go in his cell. And I'm like, I'm not fucking moving in there. You out of your mind. And he was like, nah, you gotta go in there. And I'm like, nope. And he was like, all right, turn around and cuff up. So I cuffed up, and I was so mad. I had a visit that day. We had just gotten store order. Damn, I wish I could drink. Yeah, we had just gotten store order and all that. So anyway, I get cuffed. The lieutenant comes down and was like, what happened? I was fucking tight. I was yelling at both of them. Boom, they brought me to the box. Now, this is my first time in intake. Now I'm in the box. I did 8 months in seg from this point on. So on a year bid, I had been in pop for 3 months, sorry. And then he brought me to seg and stayed in there till I flattened in the next year, the following year. So I went into seg right there, and then when you first go to seg, back then it was 2004, 2005. So you couldn't have books in there. The only thing you could have was a Bible, period. That's it, a Bible. They have K side and L side. Those are the seg blocks. They put like, if you fight, me and you fight, you're gonna be on one side, I'm gonna be on the other. But words could get passed back and forth through the vents to the other side. Like, if your boy, tell yo, get that dude. You know what I mean? He fucking this and that. So you can't really hide too much from people, even if you know what I mean. So damn, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I went to the box. We started like writing letters like, yo, we need books. We started wilding out a little bit. Boom, they started bringing a box of books. They're like, all right, because we were like, yo, it's cruel and unusual punishment. You got us down here with just a Bible. I read this thing front to back 5 times. You know what I mean? So they ended up bringing books in. So that was like a big thing for us. We had all gotten together and did that. Now they have books. You know what I mean? Still down there. You can get books ordered now and brought down there. But before that, it was dead Bibles. So then, boom, I was down there. I'm mad, like, I'm not really that big of a guy, but I was down there and I was beefing everybody. Whatever it was, I was fighting. You know what I mean? I was getting beat up, but I was fighting. Other times I was winning. It is what it is. So I was just in the box fighting. And then doing dumb shit too, kicking my door, whatever. You know what I mean?
I'll stop you real quick. How are you in the box fighting? I thought when you were in the box, you in a cell by yourself. Or is the box different?
Yeah, so over here, boom, in different jails it is different, but in intake in Rhode Island when you first go in, I was in seg in all the other buildings too, but in this building, it's 2 people actually in the cell. So then when it's rec time, before you used to only be able to take showers on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That was it. The other days you could just do your little hour walk. And now that's dead. You can shower on any day. So you come out and it's your cell, which is 2 people, and another cell, which is 2 people, and sometimes a third cell, which is 2 people. So at times there's 4 people out there, or there's 6 people out there. So if you got beef with somebody, and also when you're in seg, there's speakers. Obviously, the cops can talk, hey, get the fuck off the door, da 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 da, or they can listen as well. So now at night, if they're hearing us arguing, me and you are arguing, they're gonna write it in the log. And now the morning time, the cops would be like, yo, we fucking let these 2 guys out together. And they boom, pop doors just to watch a fight. So, yeah. So after I ended up fighting for a while, I ended up getting cool with the COs. Because you gotta keep it on an even keel with them. I don't fuck with cops. I don't really talk to the cops. But if you're not good with them, bro, you're in the box. They won't give you your mail. They'll skip you when they feed. And what are you gonna do? Ask for a lieutenant? If the lieutenant's not coming, bro. And if you ever see a lieutenant, they'll just deny it. So it's like you can't fuck with them. I walked past the bubble one time and see my mail in there. And it was like 9 o'clock at night. They had already passed out mail. I didn't know where the fuck that letter came from. I was like, yo, that's my shit. Can I get that? He was like, yeah, hold on, let me see. I was like, what you mean, let me see? That's my shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So fucking, yeah. So yeah, I was just wilding out over there. And then now I get classified. That was my first time. You know what I mean? I would have went to minimum if I had kept it, you know what I mean?
You've been good.
Yeah, so I go in. Now I'm going to classification. Now it's me, my boy, and one more other kid. That's all fucking wilding out, doing stupid shit together, like fighting, like just flooding out, like being retards basically. So then, boom, classify all 3 of us. My boy goes in first, Max. He's coming out like, oh man. I was like, what happened? He's like, Max. I'm like, no. I got nervous. I'm like, damn, they're gonna send me too. So my other boy, boom, Max. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to Max. And I go in, and they're like, you're going to Max. I was like, damn. Now, maximum security back in the 70s and 80s, I guess, according to people that were there, was one of the worst jails in the country. They had like an ambulance parked outside. Motherfuckers from the streets was coming there to pick up drugs. Like, it was bad. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but the head of the New England Mafia lived in Rhode Island on Federal Hill, Raymond Petriacca. So a lot of these families in the mob, they all were in New York, right in New York. This motherfucker ran New England, like Maine. He ran 5 states, him by himself. So that's the element that was in there at that time. That's probably why it was wild, but it's obviously not like that anymore. So anyway, boom, I go up there. So fucking my first day, I'm nervous. Maximum security, bro. I'm 19 years old. I'm thinking motherfuckers is getting raped. Motherfuckers, you know what I mean? So I go in, boom, there's 3 of us. Now it's mad quiet in the block. You can't hear shit. So I'm like talking to my boy, yo, what's up? What's your cell look like? Da, 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 da. He's yelling back at me. It's Boz. At Max, it's Boz. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. It's one of the oldest jails in the country.
Okay.
So you can fucking yell out. You can fucking, you know what I mean? Do all that. So we're talking to each other, and I got a nickname. They would call me a nickname. It was like to kind of bust my balls, but at the same time, because I was wilding out and shit, a couple of them started calling me Animal Thug. So as we're in Max, it's retarded, right? So as we're in Max, my boy calls me this. He's like, yo, Animal Thug, da, da, da. So now everybody's fucking hearing this. So he's like, I'm like, damn, yo. I'm like, yo, don't call me that shit, bro. So now they're like, oh, Animal Thug. Oh, what the fuck is that? So boom. Now that's out there. They're talking. Somebody's like, yo, be quiet. We sleep at this time. And I'm like, damn, did he just, I kind of felt punked off, but I'm like, I'm new, I'm nervous. I'm like, yo, I got you, bro. My fault. Boom. Didn't say shit. So, boom, they start waking up. I had come to find out, like, throughout the day, you know what I mean? Child gets there at lunch. Motherfuckers eat lunch. And then immediately after lunch, you have like an hour, you go to take a nap after lunch. Everybody gets quiet and goes to sleep. You know what I mean? Even in the regular blocks. After lunch, people sleep because the yard don't open until like an hour or 2 later. So it's quiet. So that's what that was about. So anyway, now I go out on rec. My first day on rec. They let me, us 3 together and like one other dude. So I'm nervous. Now, like I said, I'm in seg. I went from intake seg to max seg. So that's where I'm at in maximum security seg. It's 3 tiers. The flats, 2nd tier, 3rd tier. I don't remember if there's a 4th tier. I don't think so. So we come out and now we're walking around doing whatever. People just staring at me, so like trying to see who the new people are. Didn't say shit to me. I took a shower, whatever. My boy Damon's like, yo, Animal Thug, look at that. I'm like, damn, this kid said it again. Now everybody's like, yo, that's Animal Thug right there. Ah, yo, you know he gave that name to himself. Talking back and forth. Yeah. I was like, damn, I was mad embarrassed and shit. So boom. All right. Now it was joking. Everybody was joking though. It wasn't nothing like crazy. So boom,
Right.
we go to the cell afterwards. Now some kids like, yeah, yo, Animal Thug, yo, this and that, saying stupid shit. Now kind of getting disrespectful. I was like, yo, what are you saying? He's like, yo, what are yo, bitch? And I was like, oh man. So now I'm like, fuck. I'm like, you know, I gotta be like, yo, so all right, so what are you saying? He's like, all right, back tomorrow, we're doing it. I'm like, all right, say no more. So now, sight unseen, I have no fucking clue who this dude is, what he looks like, you know what I mean? None of that. So I'm like, damn, my fault. I was like, yo, I got a soap and a sock ready and all that, because I'm like, oh, this dude could be massive, you know what I mean? Right. So we go out there. I don't know if I had gotten word beforehand that who he was and what he looked like and all that or whatever. So no, we go. I think I did. So we go out there. It's a Spanish kid. He's a little bigger than me. Actually, yeah, he's just a little bigger than me. Same, probably a little bit taller. But I was just like, oh, all right, I'm still gonna crack him with the soap and the sock, but I could probably beat him with my hands. So fucking, we come down. I don't say shit to the kid. Just walk past him. So now he's like, what the fuck? Yeah, yo, I just punked him off and he ain't gonna do nothing. That's what he's thinking. So now, right. Boom. Me, what I'm doing is I got an hour out, bro. I'm trying to enjoy my rec before we do this. You know what I mean? You want to come at me, we do this. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I still want to take a shower and all that. So fucking, he didn't say shit to me. I didn't say shit to him. In my mind, I'm like, yo, the time's ticking for you, buddy. I'm about to crack you. So I took a shower. Obviously, my boy watched for me while I was showering. Boom, come out. I'm sitting at the chow table. So now he's over here talking to his boy. So I'm talking to my boy as I'm sitting down, and I'm like, yo, I'm about now talking to my boys on the flats through the bars. Now I'm like, yo, I'm about to fucking split this kid shit with this open sock. He was like, nah, you don't even need that. He was like, yo, I know this kid from training school. That's the juvenile system over here. He's like, yo, I know this kid from training school, and he's a bitch. He got a glass jaw. That's what he said. He had a glass jaw. So I was like, all right, bet. So I told my boy, yo, I'm gonna get up and fucking smash this kid. Just take this sock when I put it on the table. He was like, all right. So I pulled out the soap and the sock and put it on the table, spun off the chair, got up, came around. He was talking to his boy, didn't see it coming, caught him, dropped him. First knockout ever in my life. And also at the perfect time, everybody seen it, and fucking boom, he hit the ground and then like was like that and then jumped up. By the time he jumped up, the cops sit there and watch the whole time as you guys are on rec like that. So he got up, came running, fucking right as like homeboy had gotten up to like try to square off, boom, grabbed him, snatched me up. And now we're getting cuffed up and bringing up. But everybody, as I'm getting cuffed up, brought up, everybody was like, yo, you seen that? Someone, they was like, yeah, yo, that's Animal Thug. That's it. He hit him like a grown-ass man. Fucking, I was like, yeah. But fucking, yeah. So that shit happened. So then I'm in seg now, and now I'm relaxed. I'm smooth. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers, you know what I mean? I did that. Motherfuckers see I'll fight regardless. So now it's like they start talking to me. And I ended up getting along with mad people. It sucked. I did 8 months in seg, but bro, I'm trying to think.
What else was in Max at that time besides stuff with you? Was everybody relaxed, or was other inmates getting to it? Talk about a story you can tell the viewers.
Yeah, so there was fights all the time. Not that time. So 2004, 2005, my boy was in there, and for hitting cops, they made him shower in shackles and cuffs. So I swear on everything I love, I felt so bad for him. He was cuffed like this. He would grab his shower and washcloth, bring that shit to the shower, which like yo, that shit was crazy. But yeah, there was I mean, it wasn't nothing serious, and there was just fights and shit. I seen a couple people get fucked up, like dropped, knocked out. I didn't really see no cuttings or nothing over there. It's not like that. In Boston County Jail, I seen a lot of wild shit over there. the county jails over in Mass. I got a couple good stories from out over there.
All right. Let the viewers hear them.
So the county jails in Mass at that time, it was Worcester County, which is Worcester, which is a huge city. Joyner Lucas is from out there. It's like fucking, so there. That's a county. They got Bristol County, which is Fall River, New Bedford, and then they have a bunch of counties. But I went to Boston, so I'm in. So the story that was the catalyst that got me shipped to Boston to begin with was I was in a block. Okay, it's in population. It's it's not ad seg. It's just your doors are open. It's you can go in and out. There's bathrooms, so you can just walk out of your cell whenever, as long as it's not a count, and go to the bathroom. So there's Fall River cliques, which is all white dudes. They stay together that way. Because then when they go upstate, that's how they sit at Fall River table. They do that and that and that. So Fall River, boom. Taunton, boom. And then New Bedford, boom. And then people like me who are from Rhode Island. You know what I mean? I'll fuck with who I fuck with. So I go in. Now there's a fucking child molest in the block. Now, period. You get a bag and you get sent out if you're in Mass County jails. If you're a sex offender, you're not coming in the block because you're destroyed. So they'll go to them and hand them a bag. Sometimes you don't get handed a bag, you just get beat the fuck up. So I was fucking with the Fall River dudes a little bit. One of the dudes had a charge from back in the day, I guess, about like some shit with a kid, but it got lowered to something else. Long story short, he's a sex offender, period. You got found guilty, you copped to a sex charge, you're a sex offender. So boom, I'm going in his cell. I told my boy, I'm like, yo, I'm going in his cell and I'm taking all this shit. And I was like, I'm gonna make sure there's somebody in there so they can't say I'm cell thieving. So he was like, all right. So my boy came down, stood there. I walked in dude's cell. I didn't even tell you who this dude was. This dude was cool with one of the Fall River dudes. Like one of the head Fall River dudes. He was cool. So I guess he was getting a pass. Fuck that. Boom. I walked in there, took a bag, took all this shit, everything. His cellie was there. I was like, yo, I'm taking your cellie's shit, and if you do anything about it, I'm gonna take your shit too. And he was like, oh, yo, all right, that's straight. I took it, boom, put it in a bag, brought it up to my other boy's cell, slid it to him. So now, I'm waiting to see what the aftermath is. So boom, dude, Sally goes, tells him, you can see everything from standing up at the top. Goes to the Fall River dudes. The Fall River dudes called me down. They're like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, fuck that dude, he's a sex offender. And they're like, yeah, but da-da-da-da. They were like shocked that I came at him like that. So he was like, right. Yo, at the end of the day, you gotta fight homeboy tomorrow. And I was like, I'll fight whoever. And they were like, all right, that's what you gotta do. So then that set up for me. Now, on the side of that, there's a dude that was cool with the sex offender. He comes at my boy. I guess they were gambling together and this other shit added together. Boom, he said something slick to my boy. So my boy's standing in his cell, like, and dudes with his back to the cell, they're arguing. So I come up, I stand there with my boy, like, yo, what's up? So he's arguing with this dude. So now I'm thinking in my head, yo, this dude is mad big. I'm like, yo, if he starts beating on my boy, I don't know if I'm gonna jump in this. This dude's kind of big. Obviously I was gonna, and then I'm thinking in my head, like, those are the thoughts that you get there quick, and you know what I mean? Right. And so I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to jump in this. And then I was like, nah, I got it. And then he fucking said some shit to my boy. My boy looked scared, bro, straight up. So I was like, yo, I shoved my boy out of the way. I was like, yo, fuck you, spit in the dude's face. So now this dude just grabs me, boom, up against the wall, boom, up against the bed. I didn't have a chance in the fucking world. Boom, slam me on the ground. He's on top of me now, like getting ready to bang me. So I tell my boy who's standing there, yo, kick him in the face, bro. And the dude looked up. He was like, don't you fucking dare, to my boy. And he didn't. And the dude just caught me a couple more times. I ended up weaseling my way out, fucking hopping out, dipping out the room. So now my other boy had a piece of a fan. You know those fans, the metal fans with the fucking whoop, with those the huge ones that they be putting in the blocks that spin.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those the big ones. So a piece of that, like one of the circle pieces that he had, like with the handle on it. So I go up to him. He had showed it to me like 2 days prior. I'm like, yo, let me get that. He's like, oh, I don't even got it no more. I'm like, bro, let me get it. I'm like, I need that. He's like, I don't got it no more. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go tell my boy who just got fucking just allowed that to happen. I was like, yo, don't fuck with me no more. Like, because I had owed him a couple dollars. I went and got, I think I owed him like 3 or 4 soups. I went and got 6 soups. I was like, yo, here, I'm good. Don't fuck with me no more. I'm straight with you. Boom, bounced. Never talked to that kid again, actually. To this day, I don't talk to him. So, yeah, that happened. So now he's like, no, I can't get the fucking thing. So we have foxtails, those wooden fucking, you know, the dustpan?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So boom, that's it. That's all I could think of as a weapon. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. I'm gonna hide in the shower because he's on the bottom tier. So the top tier and the bottom tier don't chow together. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking hide in the bathroom, and then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna fucking split his shit with this. So I ended up positioning myself where the trash is. So then the trash is right here. So now when you're done with your tray, because we were getting disposable ones at that time, you got to throw it in the trash, obviously. So I'm by the trash. So this motherfucker's eating. You know what I mean? Nothing was that happened that night. It was right before lockdown. We ended up locking in. That was it. So that's why nothing came of that. So now I'm still scheduled to fight this other kid on the next day. So fucking, damn, what happened? Oh yeah, so I grabbed the shit, sat by the trash in the morning. My heart was racing. This motherfucker comes up, like throws his tray and gives me like one of them like looks, like yeah, fucking punk type shit, like, you know what I mean, just some fucking cornball shit. So he does it, and then he turns around. I got up too early, like he still could see me out of his peripherals. But anyway, I popped up, I cracked him, bang, one time. I hit him so hard that it fucking flew out of my hand that way. So then he like stumbled, and then I like ran up, hit him a couple times, and he like stumbled into his cell. And then like shook it off, stood up, and was like, come on. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. I fucking bounced. I went up to my cell and fucking just stayed up there on the top tier waiting. I was like, yo, if he comes in, like fucking, I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I bounced. At the end of the day, I was standing like right in front of my cell door. He's in down there talking, because at this point the cops are coming in to do the fucking get the food cart and do all that shit. So it was kind of like, boom, I ran up there, bang, door popped, and like trying to save me. So now I'm thinking like, yo, this is getting out of control, bro. I gotta fucking, I gotta fucking dig these Fall River dudes, because that dude was a Fall River dude. I'm a nobody, you know what I mean? So I'm like, they're gonna end up on crashing on me or trying to tell me I gotta leave the block. So yeah, so then now I'm talking to one of these other kids that I'm cool with. I don't want to say my boy. I'm cool with this kid. I'm talking to him. Now, we are over where we are. The CO is now passing out mail. So we're sitting at one of the tables. He's down there a little more. So one of the Fall River kids, I peeped the whole thing. They're talking about me. And he was like, what? I'll fucking say that shit to him right now. Da, 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 da. So he turns around. Now I heard this. It was low, but I still heard it. Turns around, comes up to me and was like, yo, you got to leave. And I just caught him. Bang. And he's like, he stumbles back. And his like whole body was shaking. I don't know if it was from nerves or if he was like, didn't think I was going to hit him or adrenaline or what. But he just stood there. I seen his whole body shake. I was like, man, what the fuck? Cop came running over. Curry, stop. Boom, coughed me up. So it kind of, you know what I mean? It saved me. But they were going to crash out on me either way. So then, boom, I go to the box. Now I'm like, yo, these dudes are going to fucking send word over to fucking the other side and be like, yo, catch this dude. So I'm like, I got to prepare for that when I go over there. So now I'm in there. I got fucking 21 days for fighting. So you go down to, I think it's EC, ED, and EE. Or something like that. I don't know. But I go down there and I'm in seg for a little bit. Now I start wiling out. I'm like, yo, they're fucking up my trays. They're not giving me mail. So I was like, yo, my boy, from the streets was next door to me. I was like, yo, what do you want to do? You want to wild out? And he was like, yeah, fuck it. So over there, you know, they have the sprinklers that come out of the wall. Those little metal sprinklers. So we threw our shirts over it and pull it, bang, and then the sprinkler pops. It shoots out oil first, and then it shoots out like water, like an unbelievable amount of fucking water. Like it's out of control. it comes so quick that you don't even have a chance to get cold because it hits you, you're freezing, and then it continues. It drenches everything in that fucking tub. The alarm goes off. The fire department has to come shut it off. Now, they can't shut your water off. They can only do it for a certain amount of time, then they got to turn it back on. So move me to another cell, bang, broke that sprinkler. Brought me on the way to fucking a disciplinary hearing for the second sprinkler. As I'm walking down the hallway, sprinklers are out of the thing the whole way. I tried to get multiple of them. I grabbed one, bang, the fucking ceiling shit, because it was those tiles that you can push up and hide, you know, that way you can push it up, hide shit, those type of ceilings. Holy, the ceiling came down, the sprinkler didn't go off. So now the CO runs, tackles me, and so shit like that's going on. I'm kicking my door all day. I'm flooding out with my toilet, and
you must listen. I gotta. So with all that stuff you was doing, because other states, man, they're not getting away with that. With all that stuff you was doing, the COs never beat you up.
No, nope.
Dang, bro, it's crazy to hear that, because these other states, the CO was beating you up for looking at them wrong. So you here, you pulling down sprinklers, you kicking the door, and they still kept it professional and would just bring you in. Wow, that's a lot.
Now listen, polar opposites. For doing all this, I get shipped out to Boston. While I was at Boston, they killed an inmate while I was there, the COs. That's where, that jail, that county jail, I felt more like I needed to be at God than maximum security in Rhode Island. That jail was wild, boy. That shit was wild. You know what I mean? So for doing all this shit, I get shipped there to Boston jail. The major comes down and says, "What do we got to do to make you stop?" I was like, "Yo, ship me the fuck out of here." He was like, "All right. We'll have you out of here in 24 hours. Just please stop." I was like, "All right." He's like, "I have your word." I'm like, "Yeah." So I stopped. Next morning, they come get me. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm like, on the way to the bus. I'm like, "Yo, where am I going?" They're like, "Yo, you're going to Boston." I'm like, "Damn, that's kind of far." So I go there, and that shit was wild. So they got new man. You go in for new man for 30 days. After new man, you go into the 3 buildings, 3, 3, and 3, 4. Over there, I see people coming in with their bags to like check in with the officer to see where they're going, and like 3 people would just jump them, bang, 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 bang. It was so bad over there. They told us, "Yo, if you guys can go 1 meal without a fight, we will let you out for fucking rec tonight," because they had taken rec. Bro, at that fucking meal, a dude got cracked through the tray, and they was beefing.
Wow.
I'm telling you, because they got hood beefs out there, and they got little gangs and shit out there. Boston's live. So yeah, that shit was crazy.
What's the makeup of inmates as far as Boston go? Is it the same thing? The whites got the numbers? Who got the numbers?
Yeah, blacks have the numbers, but
okay.
there's the white dudes. If you're a bitch or if you're not linked up, it's not like they're gonna take advantage of you, but they know if they want to try you, they can. Like they got South Boston dudes, they got the Eastie guys. These are old like dudes that ain't scared to fight. You know what I mean? They're white boys. They're not no punks. You know what I mean? They're from South, you know what I mean? South Boston. So there's those dudes, and then there's a bunch of black dudes with from different gangs, from different hoods that got beef with other dudes. You know what I mean? There's mad bloods in Boston. You know what I mean? Mad bloods.
And listen, because I know in the Florida Department of Corrections, from people I interviewed and from seeing different interviews, it seemed like the white boys in Florida don't stick up for each other. They don't look out for each other. How is it at the Boston jail? You said when say a white guy comes in there, are those whites gonna grab him up and say, "Here you go, man. Here goes some hygiene. Here goes some soap. Go ahead, man." Is that how it works?
Nah. Nope.
Okay.
If you don't know nobody, you know what I mean? Then that's what it is. I mean, they're not gonna depending on where you're at, they're not gonna let a bunch of black dudes jump a white guy. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, "Yo, nah, you gotta give him that up." Same thing with like Worcester jail. Worcester jail was pretty crazy too. People were checking out of there every single day and going to PC. Every day somebody would check out. I got into a couple crazy fights over there. But yeah.
Oh yeah, what kind of crazy fights?
All right, so I'm in there, right? I had been in there for like maybe 2 months. I was doing 6 months. I got accused of stabbing a female. What happened was I was fighting with the husband. The female jumped on my back. I shook her off me. I had a lighter in my hand, and she like cut her hand on the lighter. I don't know what the fuck happened. Long story. Somebody told me they seen her cutting herself, but that shit got dismissed. I went to trial with that, bro. First, the only thing I ever went to trial with, because I actually didn't do it, and that shit got tossed out. Her husband was saying I didn't do it, but anyway, while I was fighting that, I'm in jail in Worcester. I ended up in jail with a vice lord. So now every day, like, if there was like, if you see another vice lord, you'd be like, vice lord, like they do that back and forth. The Bloods, the Latin Kings, like they'll yell back and forth to each other from different buildings. So now I was in a building, and like I said, it's separated by gangs. When shit comes in, everybody gets a third. The vice lords get a third. There's another set that gets I think Latin Kings get a third, and the third was supposed to go to the white to the Outlaws, which is a white dude gang. But if they're soft, then they're not going to give it to them. They're going to end up keeping that other third. So, all right. So there's a fucking softball game on. It's a fucking women's softball game. It's, I'm in my cell. It's Pawtucket, where I'm from, versus Woonsocket, where another white dude in the block who's an outlaw is from. So, I was like, yo, that shit's good. I was like, yeah, Pawtucket, or whatever. Somebody was like, fuck Pawtucket. And I knew who it was. So I was like, man, fuck Woonsocket. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, fuck Woonsocket. He was like, all right, see me tomorrow. I'm like, damn, bro, I didn't know it was all that. Like, I thought we was fucking. So now my celly, yeah, that shit was wild.
You cool, man. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you. I fuck with you too. So yeah, so we went to I went to Chow, and they were like, not Chow, Medline. And I seen both dude and his celly at Medline. No, before that, they came to my cell. He was like, yo, what's all that shit you was talking? The door was closed though. I was like, nah, it wasn't like that. I was just saying, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, I was just talking about the game. He was like, oh, all right. I walked away. So now I'm like, damn, I just got pumped up. So now we go to the Medline. That like a second later, 2 seconds later, they're in front of me. No, behind me. The celly comes and straight cuts me, stands in front of me at Medline. So I'm like, bro, this is going to be an ongoing thing. I'm going to have to straighten this. So fucking we get meds. I go back to the block. I'm telling the door's closed. I'm telling my celly, bro, like this happened and this happened. I'm gonna have to get the head up with somebody. I'm gonna crack this through shit. He was like, all right, I'll make sure they don't jump me, because he was a vice lord. So dude comes down on the way back from meds now after his celly had just caught me. He comes up, he was like, yo, you sure you wasn't talking that shit? I was like, nah, bro, I told you I was talking about the game. He's like, yeah, because I would do this and I would do that. And then it just started getting to me. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Now, mind you, this dude's fucking a white dude. He's like a biker dude, like stocky as fuck. And I'm like, you know what, man? Yeah, fuck that. That's what I said, bro. You feel me? You see me in the cell. Matter of fact, we'll do this right now in the cell. He's like, what? All right. And takes off. And I'm like, damn, bro. It's like, you could have let it slide and been like, yeah, I punked that kid off. But you want to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And I lost my temper. So now it's like, all right, now I got to fight this kid. So boom, doors pop, okay? My celly comes with me up the stairs. Dude's already in his cell waiting. There's one dude from his gang that's standing over watching. And then my celly, who's a vice lord, came up with me, stood outside the cell. Now, I'm waiting. I can see him in his cell, but I'm waiting on the bars right here because the cop is walking by. So somebody peeps that, grabs the cop, and was like, yo, can you help me over here? So the cop takes off. So now I just turn around, I walk in the cell. First punch I throw, bang, I catch him right in his nose, break it. Blood everywhere. Now he just completely starts pounding on me. Like, as soon as I banged him, I kind of curled up, and he was just, but I'm curled, you know what I mean? So he's not hitting anything but my arms, the side of my head. So now I feel him getting winded, like tired, like the hits ain't as serious. So now I come out, I pop out, and I just start, like, you know what I mean? My hand, I don't got much power behind my shit, but I'm cracking him. You hear it cracking, bang, bang, bang. Split him under his eye. Now he's on the bed. I got him in like a headlock, and I'm catching him. And I'm like, I'm so surprised while I'm doing this. Like, damn, I'm actually fucking this dude up. Right. So that happens, blood everywhere. I'm like, I let him out. I end up letting him out the headlock. I'm like, yo, you good? You good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I go to give him that. He swings on me again. I lean back. He completely misses. And I'm like, pushed him. I'm like, yo, chill, bro. I'm like, yo, you good? He was like, yeah. I dap him up, and I fly out the cell. I jump in the shower, wash his blood off real quick. Boom, I hit the yard. I'm walking with my boy. He's like, yo, what happened? And I'm like, nah, I ended up, I don't know. I said, I feel like I win. I don't know. I got to ask somebody else that's seen it. He was like, all right. He's like, yo, look at the back of your head. Kid, I had an egg this fucking big on the back of my head right here behind my ear, where this kid was just catching me in the same spot over and over probably. That shit was enormous, bro. Yeah, so,
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So listen.
Yeah.
We can change it a little bit. Them 8.5 years in prison, because we're gonna do a part 2 to this. But
all right.
Before we close on this one, and them 8.5 years you did in prison, did you learn a trade? They got trades in there? Like for real? Like did they teach you something in there?
When you in intake in Rhode Island jail, you'll go to another building. Once you go to another building, you can take like poetry classes, anger management. You can do you don't learn like a trade like a hands-on thing. Like I got my GED in there. Rhode Island, I think, gives the most good time. We get like 15.5 days good time on a month. So that's you're doing half you get 7 years with good time, you're only doing 4. You know what I mean? So if you get your GED, they give you 30 days good time. Like bang, a month off. So that's pretty dope. So a lot of people got it. But yeah, you could get college courses, college credits, but not no trade, no. But I mean, I guess that is a trade, the college shit.
Okay. So how long have you been home now?
It's been a little bit, bro. The last time I got in trouble was for I mean, I've been cited for weed, but that was it. I haven't been arrested in like 7 years.
That's good, man, because I want to ask you that, because when they finally let you out, right? This is the last question for part 1. When they finally let you out, because I hear a lot of people say, yeah, man, they let me out and they kicked me to the streets, man. They set me up to fail. But I also know some people that have been offered programs that have messed the programs up, and they still have excuses like, oh, they set me up, but they actually put them in a good position. When you got out of prison, did they have programs set up for you when you got out? Like, did they say, go check in here? This is where you get job placement. Go see here. We can help you out. Did they have that for you?
So right before you get out, they have what's called a discharge planner, and the discharge planner will come down and be like, yo, what do you need? Where you going? What are you doing? Like that type of stuff. But if you want stuff done, you got to go in there and be like, all right, I need you to do this. I need you to call this one. I need to do this, because they're not going to offer you or do anything for you. You know what I mean?
Got you.
That's how that is.
All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. It's easy when Florida Prison Talk, man. Listen, man, I appreciate you. We're going to do part 2 as soon as possible. I'm just going to think of something we can talk about. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate the stories. I appreciate the humor, man. For real. Real fun interview, man. You got anything you want to say before you leave?
No, I'm good, man. Just try to stay safe out there, man. Do something legal.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, though, man.
All right.